What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick Cacus in the flesh. Listen, last time I brought out the webcam, so many of you told me I looked disheveled. I had to bring it out once again to prove I got a haircut, okay, looking a little cleaned up, but how far is that? Oh my, I'm becoming Asmongold. Look, that's all beside the point, guys. We need to talk about the Destiny 2 server stability, or frankly, lack thereof, because the last Tuesday weekly reset, the community kind of erupted, and that's because we had yet another bout of horrendous server stability. The entire game, as you can see, went offline for scheduled maintenance. Okay, that's pretty normal, and we're definitely willing all to live with some scheduled downtime, but then it got extended by an hour, so no one can access the game for another hour, and then another hour. Okay, now people are starting to get pretty upset, and then finally they said, oh, we found the issue. They didn't actually fix the issue with this tweet, they just said we found the issue, and it was about 20 or 30 more minutes until people could actually get into the game after this point. So you may be saying right now, are you really crying about not being able to get into the game for a few hours, one random time? Well, a little bit, but this is not an isolated incident. In fact, throughout Season of the Deep, and since the start of Season of the Deep, when this new season launched, there were several hours of server downtime. But many more times, we've had massive bouts of server downtime, and throughout the entirety of the season, there's just been massive connectivity issues. I've been kicked from the game with random error codes quite a few times. I have seen so many clips on Twitter and elsewhere of people failing their flawless dungeon runs because they get kicked to orbit or kicked out of the game entirely. You know, people trying to go flawless in trials are getting kicked out. It is not a good time for server stability. So again, the community kind of erupted. So as you can see right here, popular streamer Swetsicle actually tweeted this: "The game is by far the most unstable it's ever been. Player population is rapidly declining, and Bungie is the most profitable they've ever been." Noticing a correlation? My man did not hold back, okay? Now, this tweet is just a small taste of the distaste of the community. If you go to the replies, if you go to the quote tweets, it is all negativity and stuff a lot more vitriolic than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who are really not upset at this issue. And notice this happened the last weekly reset, okay? We are one day away from the next weekly reset, and the reason for that is that I wanted to give Bungie a chance to respond. You know, in between the weekly reset where these server issues happened, and now, you know, one day away from next weekly reset. By the way, all these issues could explode tomorrow if we have downtime again. We'll have to wait and see. But there was the TWAB, or I guess now it's called the TWID, okay? And that is where Bungie comes out and talks to the community, talks about what's going on in the game, talks about future plans for the game. And that would have been the perfect time to talk about these server issues that have become such a reoccurring and prevalent issue within the community. And under known issues, they're missing the game goes down every Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are missing what we're all waiting for them to talk about, which is this server instability. And to Swetsicle's point, taking a look at the player population, you can see there absolutely is a decline. Now, there is a decline with every single season. The popularity peaks at the start of a season and then it goes down. But notice in the Steam charts here, there's actually several times during the season where it dips really sharply. Those are the times the servers go down. And you can see, like, I'm counting 1 at the very start of the season, 1, 2, 3, 4, close together, 5 times we've had the servers go kaput. Now, one of the things a lot of people replied when this whole thing was, you know, exploding was this statement here from Bungie. You can see the streamer Sneaky Beaver is replying with this statement here saying, hey, what's going on here? And notice it's a paragraph, well, several paragraphs, a section from Bungie themselves titled Stabilizing. That's right, Bungie actually went and put out a statement regarding servers a long time ago. In fact, what this statement is actually saying, and I'll read it for you guys right here. So this is a note from the engineering team, and they say as part of the work to prepare for Lightfall. So this came out pre-Lightfall, and it's Bungie's essentially technical plans to upgrade and improve Destiny 2 services and hardware. So they say some important things. Typically, several days before one of our Tuesday updates, we will stage the update on our servers. This upgrades our backend services to the new version and means that during the Tuesday patch, we only take a brief amount of downtime before letting players back into the game. However, with our new libraries and code, we've discovered cases where the background update has put our services into a bad state, forcing us to bring Destiny 2 offline for extended maintenance. So this has been an issue for a while, but they're gonna fix it. Don't worry, guys, they say. So what are you doing about this? We have a team focused on making correlations to our new services so that we can safely perform background updates again. However, while we do that work, we also want to make sure your Destiny 2 experience is as predictable as possible. Therefore, starting with Season of the Deep, which season we're in right now, we're moving to a scheduled downtime model where we bring Destiny 2 offline for an expected 1.5 hours on our update days. This will allow us to do our staging and rollout on the same day and should make the experience more stable and reliable. In the meantime, we will continue to monitor performance, upgrade hardware, increase server reliability, and work to give you a great experience each time you play the game. So, yeah, that didn't work. Okay, it is pretty clear that making this change to improve stability arguably did the opposite. Now, maybe they're still pounding out the kinks. Maybe they just introduced this kind of new way of doing things. Maybe there's a few, things, knobs they have to twist, things they have to implement, changes they have to make to actually make this truly reliable and better than what it was before. But right now, we are not seeing this. So they have this saying, hey, when Season of the Deep comes, we're going to have a little bit of offline time, but this is going to allow everything to be more reliable. That has just not happened. And so, what is going on? And me saying what is going on is really me genuinely wondering what is going on. That's the problem. Bungie has really not said anything about these server issues. So every time they happen, and as we showed with the player graph, it's happened several times during the season. Every time it happens, Bungie is silent other than Bungie Help just tweeting that it's down again. And so the community just gets more and more riled up. If we had a little bit of insight into why this is happening and the changes that Bungie is looking at making, I think we would be a lot more understanding. Even if Bungie came out and said, listen, this new system, it backfired, we didn't expect this, we are dedicating more resources than ever to try to fix this, but we sincerely apologize. Again, we would be a lot more understanding, but the radio silence on this issue is frankly deafening. Now, another very popular tweet during this whole debacle was this one here, saying, are the players actually entitled to some sort of compensation for these server issues? I mean, we pay for the game and we can't play it. Now, some people may think that's ridiculous, you aren't entitled to anything. However, what do we have here? It's Raid Shadow Legends. Now, this is not an ad, okay? This is not an ad, but here's the thing. Yes, I actually do play the game, okay? It's a gacha game. They got me. What can I say? But what I'm trying to point out is that during my time playing Raid Shadow Legends, several times, this has happened. What you can see on screen right here is a little notification you'll get, and it says, hey, the servers went down, we know it's not your fault, and we know this may have impacted your progress, so we're actually giving you rewards. We're giving you compensation in terms of resources and stuff like that. And times when I haven't even, been playing during these server issues, I've logged on and got these rewards. So Raid Shadow Legends, the mobile game everyone memes on, is giving players rewards for server instability. And High and Mighty Bungie isn't. So maybe it's actually not that crazy of an idea. I mean, what if Bungie did give players 500 silver every time the servers went down? Does anyone else think that the servers would go down a lot less, that Bungie would dedicate significantly more resources to getting this server stability issue solved if players were actually getting, again, silver, bright dust, it doesn't, matter what it is, but getting a significant amount of resources, as compensation. That's a conversation that maybe should be had. However, maybe we are just all being big crybabies about this whole issue. I mean, in fairness to Bungie, Destiny 2 has an incredible amount of content, right? How many raids, how many dungeons, how many activities, how many weapons, oh my goodness, armor, all the different destinations, loading seamlessly into other areas with other players while you go from parts of this destination to another part. Like, it is actually incredible how this game runs at all. Like, I'm not a developer. The fact that this game even functions at all, if you look at how much is in it, how much stuff you can do in this game, is pretty phenomenal. So, I'm not quite on the train of this game is terrible and it's going to die and stuff like that. I totally understand how these server issues could happen because it's such a huge game. But the problem is, again, what Sweatcicle kind of alluded to in his tweet, is that this game is more profitable than ever. And the most obvious example of that is the fact that Bungie is increasing the prices on individual seasons. So you're paying more money and the quality of the servers are going down. Now that's typically not how people like the price to product ratio to work. If they're paying more money, they expect the quality to go up. Now, you may be saying, well, hold on a second, Rickolas. The price is increasing because inflation is out of control. And honestly, that's a fair point, right? Like, increasing the price to this new level, in today's money, we're basically paying the same as we were when this original seasonal pricing model was introduced. And again, that is an extremely fair point. However, I could counter that by saying, if the price is essentially staying the same because the price increases due to inflation, you would expect the quality to stay the same. And like I said, the quality is not the same. The quality has gone down in terms of the server stability. So it's still definitely an issue. And also in terms of monetization, just the level of monetization in this game has increased over time. And the best example of that is being able to buy levels in the Season's Pass. Before, I don't think you could even buy levels at all, and then later you could buy levels near the end of the season. And then Bungie introduced a thing you could pay for where it gave you the first 10 levels of the Season's Pass, right? And I remember tweeting about this and saying, hey, is this not a little pay to win? Like, giving players an advantage? And so, I got so roasted for that tweet being like, you stupid idiot, it takes 2 levels to get 10 seasons in the Season's Pass. Like, it's not like they're letting you buy every single level in the Season's Pass from day one, you stupid idiot. And in Season of the Deep, you could buy every single level all the way to level 100 in the Season's Pass day one. They're like, what are we doing here? Okay, because that's kind of insane. So if I pay 100 buckaroonies, or whatever, however many silver, for my Season's Pass to be fully upgraded, I can get those harmonic items and I can turn normal weapons into red borders. So day one, I can easily, because I don't need to rely on red border drops, I can turn the best weapon of the season into a red border, craft it, level it up, put on enhanced perks day one, and you're gonna get that week 3 or 4, maybe, right? That doesn't seem fair. Now that's a whole nother topic. Is this pay to win? Is it not? How much will this impact the raid race if they do it next season, that you can just literally get access to the entire Season's Pass day one? That's a whole nother topic. And that's not the point of this video. But it does illustrate that, again, monetization has expanded, prices have increased, but quality has arguably gone down. And you may be saying, well, there's things where the quality has gone up, like the weapons. And I think you're absolutely right. The fact that we're getting new weapon perks every darn season is insane, and good weapon perks. An example of that is the new controlled burst perk for fusion rifles, right? That's going to improve the rate of fire and the damage. Stuff like the Techian Force with controlled burst plus reconstruction or rewind rounds, that's arguably the best PvE fusion rifle in the game right now. So super exciting that Bungie is introducing these awesome new weapon perks all the time and really shifting the meta because of it. However, it doesn't matter how good the content is if I can't play it, gamer. Like, what are we talking about here? Obviously, the most important thing about a live service game is keeping it live, keeping it online. If you can't get access to the content, it doesn't matter if Bungie added the most amazing new game mode or new weapon or new quest in the game. If I'm getting error-coded out of it, my experience is subpar. And that's the thing. Like, the reason why this matters, server stability matters so much, is that it kind of trumps almost everything else. If you can't play the game, if you get error-coded out of the game, if you're having connectivity issues, your experience is going to suffer, and you're not really going to be thinking about the quality of the content. It is the thing that trumps everything else. If you can't play the content, you know, doesn't matter. And, you know, obviously there's some nuance to that statement, but again, like, I really do feel like if Bungie doesn't get a hold of these connectivity issues, of these server instability issues, it is just going to wear away at the player base, because it's just not fun not getting to play the game you want to play. And you're gonna be more ready to move on to other options. I mean, the base example is Diablo 4 just came out. And yes, they have had some server issues as well, but that is a brand new game that just came out, all right? Destiny 2 has been around for a while, a hot minute. So there is, I think, way less of an excuse behind getting the servers up and running when we've had the servers up and running for very long periods of time, and now the quality has again dipped down below. So overall, I think Bungie, at least talk to us. Tell us what's going on. Tell us why this change to improve stability has done quite the opposite. And that communication needs to come back, because otherwise, like, you're just going to have the community erupt and meme on the game and call it dead, and all this negative press happen every single time the servers go down. But if you come out and say, hey, here's why they're going down, here's the resources we're dedicating to it, we are really taking this seriously, again, people would be a lot more understanding. So Bungie, I still love you guys, I still love the game, I just want to play it. Okay, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Found this interesting, like this type of content. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.